Hi folks, Dr. Ed Beyer. Today I'm making a video on the basics of autoimmune disease. Many people out there that watch my videos, many people that come to me in my clinic in Tinley Park to be able to get over their chronic illnesses, most have an autoimmune problem. This is where the immune system's attacking their own body. You know, the immune system shouldn't be doing that. The immune system is to remove from the body that which does not belong in the body, and when things go awry, then the body can actually, our own immune system can form antibodies against our own tissue, causing tissue destruction. There's over 100 different autoimmune diseases, and over 50 million Americans, and more prevalent with women, suffer from an autoimmune disease. So it really goes underdiagnosed. So I really want to make some basic videos so that there's a lot of misunderstanding on autoimmune disease from a traditional medical approach versus what we do from a functional medicine approach, which is really addressing what causes autoimmune disease. And the thing I want to talk about today is this. If someone has an autoimmune disease, you'll never get that autoimmune disease in remission unless you heal whatever's going on in the gut. And the reason why is because 80% of our immune system resides in our gastrointestinal, in our gut, in our gastrointestinal system. When I mean gut, I mean just one long tube, our mouth, our esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, colon, and anus. And lining that whole long tube is 80% of our white blood cells, 80% of our immune system, because that's really the main way things get into our body, and foreign things that the immune system has to get rid of. Now, so as I mentioned, any gut issue needs to be addressed, and when people come to see me, they have gut issues, and some of them don't even realize it. Many people say, Dr. Beyer, I don't have any gut issues. I don't have any pain in my gut. I have regular bowel movements. You'd be surprised what I see on people who don't have any gut symptoms, and they have a lot of gut issues. Folks, there's very few pain nerve fibers lining our gastrointestinal system. If there were, every time we would eat, we'd be in pain. So there's very little pain nerve fibers down there. So we can have, theoretically, a lot of inflammatory things, a lot of things going on in the gut without actually feeling it. It's very important to understand that. So some of the common issues that I see are stomach acid problems. The proper acidity of the stomach is off, so people are bloated. They get gastric reflux. The food sits in the stomach too long, so the acid they do have gets pushed up. And that changes the entire pH of the entire gastrointestinal system, not allowing the immune system to function properly. And their immune cells start to die off. They've developed other things like food sensitivities and things like that. The second thing that I see are chronic infections. Again, if you don't have proper stomach acids, then we become much more prone to infections because the acids are there to kill the microbes that we eat. Every time we take every mouthful of food that we eat has germs in it. And so we need proper stomach acidity and a proper gut immune system to get rid of these. Food sensitivities. If you don't know by now, I'm here to tell you that the food we eat today is very, very different than the food we ate 20, 30 years ago. Most foods have been genetically modified. There's a lot more chemicals in them. For example, wheat has been hybridized in a different manner. So our immune systems don't recognize it, and we start to react to it every time we eat it. That is one of the biggest triggers to autoimmune disease that we can get rid of out of our patients. And we use really a great lab for that. Cyrix Labs out of Phoenix, Arizona is really the best lab in the world to determine what foods could be driving the individual's food sensitivity. Leaky gut syndrome. This is the gateway to autoimmunity. And if you've been watching my videos, I make a lot of videos specifically on this. But in short, the main barrier between the outside world and the inside of our body is not our skin. It's the one-celled thick lining of our small intestine. That barrier system is so absolutely crucial to the integrity of our health because it determines what gets into our bloodstream and what stays out of our bloodstream. And when that barrier breaks down, and I made videos on 7 specific reasons on how that can happen, when that barrier system breaks down, things start to make their way into our bloodstream, into our immune system, and it starts to react to it. And it's like having holes in your screen door on a hot summer day, and then the immune system has to constantly react to these microbes and bacteria and large molecules of food that leak into the bloodstream, and that is a huge trigger to autoimmune disease. Small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, SIBO. If you did a Google search on this or a PubMed search on this, there'd be like 20 articles on this 3 years ago. Now there's thousands. So much research is being done on these overgrowths of bacteria in our gut that are driving many, many autoimmune disease and many pain syndromes and chronic inflammation. So again, to get autoimmune disease in remission, the gut has to be addressed. I cannot say that enough. If the gallbladder isn't working, if someone's not producing enough bile salts, you're going to develop a hormone imbalance, because that's how our hormones get cleared from the body. Your body's going to become toxic. You're not going to be able to clear fat-soluble toxins. That occurs in the gallbladder. If someone has had their gallbladder removed, they better be taking bile salts. Otherwise, they're going to become toxic and they're going to develop certain immune issues. Pancreatic function is important, because the pancreas not only releases digestive enzymes, it establishes the proper pH in our gut so that the immune system can work properly. Dysbiosis is where we have overgrowth of bad bacteria and undergrowth of good bacteria, and the microbes in our gut are an essential part to our immune system. One of the things that they do is they produce these things called short-chain fatty acids. They are produced when our microbes ferment fiber and carbs that we eat, and these short-chain fatty acids are very, very important immune modulators. They modulate certain cells in our immune system to keep our immune system behaving so it doesn't attack our own body. And gut motility problems, people who aren't absorbing things or aren't getting rid of things out of the gut, they get reabsorbed back into the system, and that puts a load on the immune system, causing it a trigger to autoimmune disease. Proper testing is the key. Folks, people come to me, they could have Hashimoto's autoimmune disease or Crohn's, or I could get 2 patients with rheumatoid arthritis, for example, with identical symptoms, but what's driving and causing the one could be entirely different than what's driving and causing the other one. So proper testing is the key. Blood work, stool tests, we test for leaky gut syndrome, and we have to fix that. Very important, food sensitivity, SIBO testing, and other tests that we do. I'm Dr. Beyer. Hope that helps. Have a great day.